Let me do a really quick demo on using a large language model for research. This is part of your assignment for the introduction of this course. So I've chosen, the first thing to do is choose a large language model. Many people call that an AI. Most people in the computer industry don't, but it's a good shortcut term, an AI or an LLM, large language model. And these are meant to search and give you replies in sort of a standard text. So it's like you're talking versus just bullet points and things like that. So let's go. You need to choose one. I chose Google Gemini just because I've had it for a while. It used to be Google Bard. So that's the first thing to do is choose one. You might use ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot. There's many of them out there. And then you do a first query. The goal behind this is to make it easier to get a little bit of depth from breadth. Okay, so I want to make a general first query and then just show how to do some research to get a little bit more detailed as you go. So my first query is given to me, and I'm just going to copy and paste it. So I did right click, copy in my screen below, and I'm just asking a question. How is CAD? And I'm defining that, computer-aided design, excuse me, and drafting. How is that used in architectural, civil, and mechanical disciplines? So this gives it general, but a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to go click. And so here's an answer. You know, it's a pretty good little answer, right? It's got architecture, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and there's a little bit of depth to it. So now I need to put that somewhere. So I've gone into my Google Drive and I've got my assignments folder, and I'll click a new folder. And I don't care how you do this, actually. If you're more used to working with Word and SharePoint and Drop, I don't care how you do it. Or if it's on your computer, I'm showing you a way here. You just need to know that you need to make a document, and you got to be able to retrieve it later on. So this is first research on CAD. And I happen to try to follow good principles, putting titles in the header and setting things up right. The more you can practice this now, the easier it comes when you have to use the format that's given to you by your employer. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to put as my first heading, oops, I need to go back and get my question. So I just did a copy of the question and I pasted it right there, and it comes in as a heading 1 and it shows up over here. That's a nice thing. And I like, let's see if it'll let me do my format, text, capitalization, title case. I know it's not a title, but I like to use my main headings that way. And now I can go back to my Google Gemini, copy all that, right click, copy, click, paste. And there it is. So that's how I go about starting my little research paper. Now I'll go down to the next page. I also like to put page breaks. You don't have to do that, but it's a nice thing to know how to do. So my next one, I need to think of another question now. I want to go a little deeper. And I happen to be a mechanical engineer, so I want to learn about something else. Quantity calculations and cost estimates. I want to know more about that. CAD software helps you figure out the amount of material needed for a project, which I want to know more about that. I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to say, tell me more about quantity calculation, cost estimate in civil engineering and CAD. So I'm just making sure that it knows all this, but and it tells, wow, quantity takeoff, automated material improve, cost data, unit cost integration, cost breakdown structure, dynamic cost. Wow, look at all this stuff that it can do, and then it summarizes it for me. So I'm going to read all that, of course, but the first thing I'm going to do is put it in here, and I'm going to make that one a heading, and I'm going to fix the format. Take your time to do this. Capitalization, title case. Because then you've got a real nice document that's easy to read. This is the start of learning about how you create research documents on any focused topic for a project that a project leader can look at really quickly. If I want to, I can get rid of the tell me more. And I can just say, okay, here's about this. And of course, I can come back to my Gemini and take all of that information. Will you notice how it pretty much gives you one page? This is one of the great things about these large language models. They kind of know about what one page is. Okay, and I can actually get rid of this part because that's just a restatement. It does a really nice job of summarizing things mostly to one page lengths. So I'm going to do a break again. And now I want to go one level deeper. So you do have to read this. It takes a little while. Quantity takeoffs are one of the first things that I know entry-level people do. Detailed material lists, improved accuracy. Let me learn more about this. I want to learn more about that improved accuracy. So I'm gonna ask for a little bit more about that. Provide more details about improved accuracy. In quantity calculated. So I'm locking it down, making sure it's talking about this one. There we go. There's my last. See, it even didn't worry about my little misspelling there. So I'm going to do my final one. And yours will look different. You will get different information when you do yours. So heading 2, I think that should be a heading 1. And now I can put this information in here. And voila, there's a really, now that one got a little bit longer than one page. That's okay. Now I can quickly and easily work my document to go to each of those. Okay, the last thing you need to know how to do, well, I need to give this a name. I need to give this document a name. So I double clicked up in the heading, copied it and pasted it. The last thing to do is put it as a PDF. Download as a PDF. There it is. And I'm going to put it into my assignments. There it is right there. And not only can I put that there, I can put that in my planning sheet. If I share it so that, here's my general access, anyone with the link can view it. Then I don't have to go everywhere. I can look at it right here. Here's my PDF. Highlight it. Go to the link bar. Paste it. I used Control V. There it is. So that's how you would go about doing that. This one's in mine, so that's good. I can see, yes, it was done on time, and here it is. And I even have a shared folder. The shared folder is called My Assignments. And I'm going to share that folder so that anybody with that link can go and see copies of my work. Now, maybe you don't want to let everybody go see it. We're not doing anything secret. But don't go sharing that link to everybody. Okay, there are some files in there that you don't want people to share. If there is a file you don't want them to share, you can click on it and just change that one to be restricted. So if you have some that you want to restrict, you can do that. Okay, so there you go. There's how to get that first research done with a large language model. This is important. This is the root of research now in the design industry using these things. You'll look up codes and standards and specifications, and even in your own company's libraries, you'll be able to look up files. So getting used to using these tools now, I believe, is very, very, very important. So there you go. There's your first chance.